Peace. I thought it would be fun to come on here and do a Sibilla reading. And this is the Everyday Oracle, the Sibilla Everyday Oracle. You've probably seen them. People read with them. They're one of my favorite ways to read. I don't use them as often as I used to. This deck is really old and it looks really rough and worn. Because the messages can tend to be a little heavy from time to time. Or they can be a little, maybe not difficult, but sometimes they can lean towards the negative. But they tend to deal more with situational issues. They're perfect for romance. They're perfect for finances and just kind of seeing what's happening in the day-to-day life. They're practical in the same way as the Lenormand cards. But you get great detail from these cards. I just want to kind of show some of them to you. Like this is haughtiness, fortune, despair, wife. And just for me putting these down, there's already a message in just those particular cards that I read for you. So these are a great way to read. And like I said, sometimes they get to be a little much, but I said let's lay 9 cards. It's similar to what I do with a quick Lenormand spread. Let's lay 9 cards down, and then I'll see what happens, see what reading comes up. And I'm going to take my time with it just because when I did my last Lenormand read, when I filmed that video, I realized that the cards had a few more things to say. So I want to make sure I get all the messages out. And if you like the way I read, if you like my channel, if you've watched more than one video, please consider subscribing and liking because I'm trying to grow my channel here. I'm a reader. I've been called to read. This is what I love to do. I'm very particular about how I read on this channel. I'm very particular about the energy that I convey and that I share on this channel. I'm about healing and loving energy. If that's something you're interested in, please consider joining. We're about spiritual growth over here. Thank you, Spirit. What messages do you have? And I realize I might not be everybody's cup of tea, but I was thinking about adding like this type of reading in the Lenormands. A little bit more lighthearted energy. Some of my readings might be a little bit more maybe more of a serious tone. And I just realized as I've gotten older that I have a seriousness about me, and that's fine. Alright, let's see. We have the enemy. We have the despair. We have the wife. It's already a story laying down right here. Someone is dealing with a difficult situation with the marriage here. We have the soldier. They're trying to remain strong. They're also trying to be strategic in their dealings. Illness causing great sadness is right in the middle here. Depression with that card. We have the waiting for messages and news to come in. Love, waiting for love, holding strong for love. The Lover card, some masculine energy in love. And the theft. Someone is stealing. Someone is trying to move away from a situation. Someone is trying to, he's hopping inside this window, but I get the idea that somebody wants to hop outside that window. They want to hop out of this situation that they're in. We have the marriage, and so this is about a marriage, this reading. Underneath it, we have happiness, and we have hope. So these people are hoping for happiness. We have the gift, which is finances, and we have haughtiness and fortune. So this marriage, there's a lot of assets or there's a lot of money. Dealings. There's haughtiness in this relationship, which means there's a lot of pride and there's a lot of ego. Let's see here. All right, so from the first line, we see that there's discord in the marriage. We already understand that here. Someone is going through a very difficult time here due to a connection with this female. And the wife card is right beside the despair card. The enemy card comes out first, which means that this person is either having to watch their back, they feel like they're being watched, or they have to watch their surroundings. They have to watch their connections. They're not really feeling safe in their environment. There's an enemy in their midst. Underneath the enemy, we have the soldier. So it's this idea of maybe this person having to be strategic in their dealings, also being strong and firm in their movements. The soldier card is about standing still, standing and holding strong in your beliefs, in your movements. And not necessarily doing a lot of movement either. This isn't a high movement card, the soldier card, not for me. So the situation might not be, there might not be any movement in this situation now. It might be more waiting. This enemy card, this person is looking from behind the tree. So it's the idea of information gathering. No movement, but just information gathering and being strategic. Underneath this card, we have the love card. So there's love here in this situation. Or there's love outside of the situation. And this is what we'll gather as we move forward with this reading. We'll see more and more. At the top here we have the despair card, which brings which in the middle we have the sickness. So whatever is happening within this marriage is causing serious depression, anxiety, and sadness to the point where it's causing a person to be lethargic, because this person is in the bed. It can also be affecting someone's health. Seriously, someone's health is being affected. We have the soldier beside the sickness, which is saying to remain strong, remain diligent, remain faithful. It's an element of the soldier that brings about the feeling of faithfulness. You don't fight for a cause unless you have faith in that particular cause, in my opinion. You know, I consider myself to be a spiritual soldier, and so I have faith in my cause. I have faith in the outcome. And so Spirit is saying to continue to have faith even though you're going through this period of non-movement, because we have the soldier here beside the sickness. This person, this energy is waiting for something. They're waiting for communication. They're waiting for a message. But underneath this wife card, she's waiting as well. But underneath the waiting is the theft card. It's the thief. So she might be waiting to take resources or assets. She might be waiting for someone to give her information, because this person is creeping into the house and looking for something. So she's waiting for information to come in. Along with this soldier in this waiting card is this energy of nothing that's moving. Both of these cards are stagnant energy. It's like the fours in the tarot. Both of these cards. They're non-moving cards. And in the middle we have this sickness. So while there's no movement, we have two people. Because the sickness, if one person is feeling it, the other person is feeling it as well. Because it's a marriage. That's what we're dealing with. We're dealing with two people. So there's no movement, but there's sadness, there's depression in here. This masculine energy, because we have the lover's card, it's a love sickness too, because he's down here at the bottom with the love atop with the this is to be in love. This is what this is. This is to be in love in this deck. Above the love card we have the sickness and the despair. So, and right beside the lover's card we have the love, and then we have the theft. So this masculine energy is experiencing a theft of love. There's a love that he would love to have, but it's being stolen because we have the theft card here. The wife in this particular reading has become an enemy. These two people are enemies to each other. And then underneath the enemy card, we have the soldier and the love. So it's a skeptical love right here. It's not a trustworthy love. Whether it was in the past, who knows? But now it's become something that is untrustworthy. And you have this energy of this person here on guard with this love, or on guard in this relationship. They're not able to rest easy. The soldier, this energy doesn't rest easy. This is an energy of always being on guard, always being alert, always being aware of what's happening. So that's also causing this person to be sad, or always also causing this person to be exhausted, because this card can also be exhaustion as well. And they're waiting for information to come in. What are they waiting for, Spirit? This one just popped out. They're waiting for a letter to come in. They're waiting for a letter to come in. There could be something dealing with finances. It could be something that will allow them the chance to move out of this particular situation here. On the bottom, we have the house. This could be information dealing with a home, a foundation. It could be foundation that these two people have built up. It could be the physical home itself. It could be all the assets. It could be any type of property. The foundation is just what has been built. It could be built, what's been built together, what this person came in with previously, what the other partner came in with previously. It's all that. And when you combine that, this is the foundation of what's being built. So this person is waiting on information about a foundation. Underneath it, we have the Merchant. So this is also a standstill card. It's a card of patience. It means that the information is still not here, but that boat out there indicates that it's on its way. So the information of the letter that this person is waiting for, it's on its way to them. But how long it takes, we don't know. The Sibilla doesn't give us that, but we know that the information will eventually come. This person is waiting for communication or conversation here. Tell me about this wife and this theft. Tell me about this wife and this theft. And she's waiting too. They're both in periods of waiting. This is the situation is causing despair because there's no movement in it. She's also waiting for something to come in financially because we have the Merchant here. What she's waiting for her will bring joyfulness, but it also brings misfortune. So it makes me think about this theft card as maybe she's taking something from this person that will cause difficulty for them. But let me see. Tell me about this wife, Spirit, and this theft card. And this is just the story that I'm reading. She's waiting for a message to come in. We got the messenger, the services, and the faithfulness. This card here, this service card, is always someone who's bound to something. Maybe she's waiting for something to keep this person bound, waiting for some information to keep them bound to something. When I see this card, it makes me feel sad because this person has done this job their whole life. I don't know if they're happy doing it, but you get the sense that they're exhausted from doing this particular type of work. This is serving someone else. and he doesn't look like he's in a state of gratitude. There's another card of service in here where the character looks like they're in a state of gratitude, but this doesn't. This makes me think of the fact that this person, instead of opening this door for somebody else, they really want to open this door and climb in and start a whole new life. That's what I get from this. But this is the energy of somebody waiting so long, or things taking so long, or being complacent, or giving up and allowing things to go as they are. So this person can be waiting for a message that would keep this person stuck, right? But we have two people waiting. So one person is waiting for a message to keep someone chained to the past or chained to the current conditions. And one person is waiting for a message to have them get inside this carriage and move into a different direction. So we have two different energies here. One person who wants to stay still and one person who wants to move forward, right? And there's a faithfulness and there's a loyalty, because we talked about the Soldier card. Both of these people are faithful to their ideas of what they want for their future. One person is faithful to something that's in this carriage on the outside, and one person is faithful to continuing things the way they are on the inside, even with this sickness card being in the middle. So the theft can be of a monetary value, but the theft can also be of somebody's time and somebody's spirit. You make them so exhausted that they can't move, or they don't feel confident or powerful enough to move, because it takes power to move out of situations. These are things that we talk about in the readings here a lot. It takes courage, and it takes a certain amount of spiritual power, but also physical force and energy to move out of situations when you're dealing with enemies, and you're dealing with sickness, and you're dealing with despair, and you're dealing with theft. So theft isn't always about finances. A lot of times it is, and it still can be that in this deck. But the main theft is the theft of the spiritual fire, which happens when you're dealing with people who want to harm you in that way. They don't want you to move forward. They don't want to move forward either, but they also don't want you to move forward. They definitely don't want you to move forward, but they're also not interested in moving forward. Tell me about this sickness spirit. Tell me about this sickness. Journey. The person wants to move. This person wants to move forward. They want to start fresh. The money's on the bottom. So this can be a situation where, sorry about that, this can be a situation where the finances are being blocked. This person is keeping the finances blocked, so this person can't move forward. That's what the sickness is. They're not in a position to move. They're not in a position to travel. They're not in a position to start fresh. Tell me about this Lover at the bottom. There can be a child involved in this too, because we have the child here at the top with the wife. And I want to look at the wife, because so it goes back to what we're saying here. This is the constancy card. This is non-movement energy. This is this person, this masculine energy being firm in their desire to move forward, and this feminine energy being firm in her desire to stay still. That's what it is in this card. Tell me about this feminine energy here. She's spying to this wife. She's watching. She's constantly watching here, because we have the wife and we have the enemy here. I think I might have said that earlier. But she's also in a state of despair too. She's also in a state of despair and sadness here. Spirit is saying she could be delirious, right? Tell me about this wife, this female energy. The Doctor is here. So she could be sick and going through health issues, or she could be acting like she's sick. Those are two different interpretations. She could actually physically be making herself sick, or she could be sick because of the situation, because we have the sickness in it. Or she could be creating a situation where she uses that sickness or uses that to keep this person in a stuck energy. And there's something about this house here. There's a reunion here with this young lady. This is somebody on the outside. There's a desire for a union with this young lady. That's a single card. That's a single female. Tell me about the... What else do you have to share with me? What is this? What does the wife want, Spirit? She wants the relationship. She wants the relationship intact. She's not interested in if anybody's happy in the relationship. Not necessarily. She's just interested in the things being the way that in her mind they should be. Things staying the way they should be. She's not interested in movement forward. She feels as though she'll be left behind. That's what Spirit is saying. The journey, the gift. The journey and the gift and the joyfulness, which means that she doesn't realize it. He knows it, but she doesn't realize it. But him moving forward will not only be a gift for him, but it'll be a gift for her that'll bring in happiness. It doesn't seem like that at this time because there's fear here. There's a lot of waiting. There's a lot of watching. There's a lot of stuck energy here. But whereas he can see this masculine energy, because this is what I feel from this reading, can see and can desire the movement forward and can see the freedom outside of this and the happiness out of this, this female energy doesn't see that. And what's happening is it's just causing sadness. Let me see what's going on with the wife. She feels lonely here. That's a card of loneliness. Underneath that, we have the false card. So she could have lied. She could have been false in the past. And she can still continue to be false. And it's causing issues. Or it has caused issues. Or it's caused a rift in this relationship. But the main thing is that she's lonely. She feels alone. Surprise, old woman, pleasure seekers. So whatever has happened in this situation was a surprise for this particular woman here, because we have the surprise card. She wasn't prepared for things to change or things to shift in her life, or for things not to be set in the way that she had them set and arranged. And I get the sense that this person has a controlling energy, just because the way there's not too much movement within this reading. There's no movement. This particular female energy likes to control the movements. She likes to control the environment. She has a set way that things need, the set way that things, they need to be a certain way. Things to be in their place. There's intelligence here, because this old woman card to me is a card of wisdom. It can be an old woman too in this scenario. So it could be a mother that plays into this scenario too. We can find out more about that. But the surprise, it brought a change in her, because it goes from having this intelligence and having this wisdom and having this understanding of sorts of situations to a card of pleasure seekers, which is like a deliriousness to me, this card. These are people who want to be like others, or these are people who follow the crowd. These, to me, this is not an energy of people that think for themselves. This is people being drunk. This is people being high. Nothing wrong with that if you're able to do that and, you know, able to function properly, but this is in a negative form for me. This is people not following their own mind. This is people following others and not thinking clearly. With this pleasure seekers card, it means that you only want what's right in front of you. You're not thinking about the future. You're only thinking about that initial gratification. So any type of wisdom that this person has is overruled by this desire to have exactly what they want. They want everything. That's what Spirit is saying. They want control over this masculine energy. They want control over this masculine energy. But this also is a card of people not controlling themselves. So they want control over this masculine energy, but they don't want to control themselves. The key to life is self-control. We talk about it all the time here. The key to life is learning how to control the self. We don't come here to control others and to manipulate others' movements. If people aren't happy in situations, we have difficulty in allowing them to move on. But for our spirit and for their spirits and for their spiritual journeys, we allow them to move forward. Because we both heal in that way. Two people can't heal if you're both living in the situation where everybody's sick, when there's sickness in the house. And especially if you have children in the house, because they pick up on that sickness as well. They pick up on the sickness. What else, Spirit? Tell me about this love at the bottom. This lover in this love. It's sadness here. It's sadness for the person that's stuck inside the situation, and it's sadness for the person who's stuck outside of the situation. It's the young woman card that we saw earlier. That's not in this reading. This person is outside of this reading. But their energy is still in this reading with this lovers and with this wife too, because she can feel it. If this man is in love with someone else, and she can feel it. But there's sadness with these two people, and you have the sweetheart underneath it, which means that the love is mutual between these two. This masculine and feminine energy. She's outside. The sweetheart is not in the marriage. She's outside of it. Tell me about this lover, this masculine energy. Tell me about him. Haughtiness. So this marriage too, you have two people that are not truly being honest with each other inside the marriage. You have high ego with this haughtiness card. This masculine energy let me get more, because I wanna explain it correctly. Why is this haughtiness card here, Spirit? The death, the thought, and the servant. Remember I told you about the servant card, the other one? This is another servant card. This woman is somewhat smiling. She looks happy to serve. This person is thinking about the ending of someone who was happy to serve them. This is a person that gives with a true heart, a kind heart. They're happy to do what they're doing. And this person, this masculine energy, is thinking about the friendship or the kindness of this person. This is a card of kindness. And that's where the haughtiness comes in. Because maybe they didn't talk to this person in a kind way. Maybe they didn't share with this person how they felt. Maybe they weren't honest. Maybe they were in this soldier energy. This person wouldn't share their feelings. This person is on guard all the time. Maybe it's something about their life that had them on guard all the time. Maybe it's something about their life that had them looking around them all the time. This isn't an honest card. Because you can be an enemy to someone else. You can be an enemy to yourself. If you're not honest about yourself and who you are, you're an enemy. You're your own enemy. There's sorrow here because of that. And there's hope here with the priest. There could even be prayers. Praying for a way out of the situation. Praying for kindness. There's faithfulness here. There's a foundation here. There's a new beginning here. But there's falseness too. Because this person is already in a situation. What else do you have to say about this, Spirit? And this reading isn't to look at this feminine energy and say that this person is bad, or to look at this masculine energy and say they're good or bad. It's not about being good or bad. This is just about reading the energies of the cards. None of us are perfect, and it's hard to move out of situations when we have dedicated ourselves to them, or we feel like, we're not in a position to move, or we're not in a mental or emotional space to move. We're not here to judge. If someone is stealing, that's wrong. If someone is taking from someone, if someone is controlling someone, these things are wrong. They should be addressed. But in this particular reading right here, right now, I'm not saying that this person, because obviously this is a situation where other people are being affected, and both of these people are sad. Both of these people are in a position where they are unhappy. One who wants to stay and one who wants to leave. Why does the wife want to stay, Spirit? If she knows this person wants to leave, why does she want to stay? Why does she want to stay? Falseness, wedding, priest. And we have the old woman card, which is wisdom here. Maybe she doesn't want this person to start over. We realize that she doesn't want this person to start over. The falseness in the wedding, the priest card, from reading these three cards, it's not a spiritual union. To me, it's not a spiritual union because we have the falseness outside of the wedding, and then we have the priest card. This is a card of spirituality to me. Spirit is trying to get her to use her wisdom and to be a friend. Underneath it, we have the friend card. To use her wisdom and to be a friend and to let it go. Let the situation go. She would have to want to be a friend. But we're in a situation where there's enemies in this relationship. I don't know if the friendship is still here anymore. There could have been friendship in the past, but I don't get the sense that there's any friendship. It's not a spiritual union. Why is that important? The spiritual union is when two people come together. It's what you hear about with the soulmates, or people talk about the twin flame readings. These aren't just romantic relationships where people are together and, you know, intimately having sex and that's it. These are spiritual unions. When you come into contact with someone and you have an energetic connection with this person, it's a spiritual connection, which means that the energy is lifted in such a way, or the energy, the frequency of that those two people combined creates a certain signature that allows them to do their spiritual work here on this planet, right? Because when we come here, we're all tasked with doing certain works. We all have our gifts, and when we arrive here, the most high spiritual energy, whatever that is for you, like I always say, you are tasked with something. It's your blueprint, it's in your DNA, it's in your spiritual DNA, it's the codes, right? And so it's the activation. When these two people come together, when you come together in a high level spiritual union, you activate codes in each other, you activate knowledge from the past, you activate knowledge of the spiritual body, you activate knowledge of the heart chakra, the high level heart energy that's connected to the most high, or the highest level of the spiritual energy, the highest level of creation, right? So you activate that energy, and what it does is it not only brings an attraction for these two people where they will feel connected to each other, they will feel a bond that exists not in the physical, because these two people obviously aren't together. It exists in the spiritual realm. It cannot be broken. And that's what this feminine energy needs to understand. The bond cannot be broken. These two people do not have to be together in order to experience the bond. The bond can happen if they're a million miles away. The bond will happen if one of them passes and one is still living on this planet. It is the way it is. It's a high level spiritual connection that brings in the magnetism, that brings in the sexual energy in order to open up the heart chakra so that these people can do the work that they need to do. We are here as spiritual representatives for the high level creative energy. We are here to do the work of the most high energy, right? And so when you're in a commitment and it's not spiritual, if the priest is on the outside of the marriage, and the priest is whatever it is for you. I'm not a Catholic. I'm not a Christian. You know, I grew up with Christian principles and going to church with my grandmother, and I have lots of respect for that. And I still take some of that with me, and I apply it to my own type of spirituality. But whatever that is for you, if it's not within that marriage, that frequency, the frequency that creates the understanding for your movement forward. Because somebody can be religious or somebody can be spiritual, but that frequency might not be yours. And you might not be able to resonate with that person. So if you're living with someone, if you're in a foundation and trying to build foundation with someone that you cannot resonate with, you're not going to be able to access the codes properly, because they're not going to be able to communicate with you in a way to open up those pathways. Please understand what I'm saying. I hope I didn't lose you. I'll do we'll talk about that another time. But I think it's understandable. It's joy, it's happiness. These two people aren't happy. What happens when you meet someone and the energetic energy is similar, you're happy. It's a certain particular type of delight that cannot be found and accessed in every way. It can be accessed if you pray. It can be accessed if you go outside and if you meditate, or if you go into states of nirvana when it comes to like spiritual work. If you get into high levels like that, you can access it. But this is being with someone and accessing it on a daily basis. Whether you two argue, whether you two disagree, the energetic the connection that you create together brings in a happiness, a joyfulness, a transformative energy, because we have this butterfly. These are unusual connections. These are unusual connections. But instead of this happiness, we have this person, both of these people, in a relationship where the spirituality is not balanced, but they also have theft, we also have enemies, we also have sickness, and we also have people who are not moving forward. Just going to get a few more cards. I thought this was going to be a quick reading, but we have sorrow, we have joyfulness, and we have fortune, and we have loneliness. You can be together and still be alone. Don't be afraid to be alone. I'm alone right now. Of course, I have my spiritual team and my family, but when it comes to intimacy and when it comes to relationships, I'm alone right now. You can't be afraid to be alone. You can't be afraid to be with yourself and be by yourself. Be a friend to yourself. Sometimes you have to be alone to be a friend to yourself. What does that mean? It means that you're finding out who you are. You're finding out what brings you happiness. And I'm not saying that it's reading that two people have to be together in order to be happy. I'm saying that sometimes in life, when you find a certain person, it brings out a certain type of energy that allows your path to open up. It sparks a certain type of energy in the body that gives you access to things that you didn't have access to before. It can go from sorrow to joyfulness to fortune with transformation and with time. You have to believe in transformation. You can't be afraid to move forward out of situations that bring you sadness. You can stay. You can always stay. You can always keep a person stuck too. You can do that. But are you being a friend to them, or are you being a friend to yourself? Be a friend to yourself. Think about your well-being. Think about your emotional health. Think about your physical health. Organization, luck, innovation, insecurity. So that's good. That could be what this is about. Security. Someone not feeling like they're going to be secure on their own. Someone afraid of losing what they've built. Someone afraid of losing that safety net. Someone afraid we have support. Someone afraid of losing support systems, or you losing that support that's been there for them. But Spirit is saying that you have to release it here. If you release it, you'll find peace. The peace is there. You'll be able to transition into a new way of living, a new way of life, a new understanding who you are, understanding your purpose here, not in relation to someone else, but in relation to you being a friend to yourself, you being a friend to your heart and to your emotions and to your emotional body, your spiritual body. Spirit is saying it's going to take time here with the timing card. One day I'll get the camera right. You are asked to forgive. Forgive yourself. Forgive yourself for things that you didn't do right, or lessons that you've learned. I'm going to say that you didn't do right because we have that haughtiness card. Forgive yourself. All is forgiven, right? Forgive yourself. Have confidence in your movements forward. Have confidence that life can be beautiful for you outside of the situation. Have confidence that you can be excited about life again. Have confidence that there's love for you here with this ruby, which represents passion and sex and heat. Have confidence that you will come into a connection, or that connections will be here in the future for you that provide this type of excitement. Have confidence that there will be growth for you. Believe in growth for yourself. Believe in renewal. Believe in renewal, in healing, spiritual renewal of your faith. Bring things to a resolution, not only with yourself, but bring things to resolution within this relationships. Come to the table, sit at the table and be honest with each other. I love you. I'm thankful for what you've brought into my life, but I'm ready to move forward. Can we do this together? Can we allow each other? Can we let each other go? Not only for selfish reasons, because I want out of here, but because I want you to grow as well. Be brave. Be brave. Have patience. Clearing was under that. Be organized as you move forward. Luck is here with you. Things will work out. Continue to come up with new ideas. And this is where that security card comes in. Don't steal from others. Don't steal from others. Create your own. Create your own abundance. Have your own ideas. Have your own mind. That's where the security lies. The security lies in being honest and being a friend to yourself. All right. Do I want to pull one more? I think this reading has been long enough. Hope you enjoyed it. Until next time. Peace.